Good morning, friends. I'm Dr. Yogesh Sarode of Jivan Vikas Mahavidyalaya Devgram. I welcome you all in this session. Today we will learn a poem, The Solitary Reaper, by the poet William Wordsworth. Now, this is a very interesting poem of romantic type. So, before going to the theme and detail part of this poem, let us have an introduction of the author also, the poet also. Poet William Wordsworth, a renowned personality. As you know, William Wordsworth was born on 7th April 1770 and he died on 23rd April 1850. Means he lived up to 80 years. So he was an English romantic poet who, with Samuel Coleridge, S.T. Coleridge, helped to launch the Romantic Age in English literature with their joint publication Lyrical Ballads, published in 1798. Wordsworth's magnum opus is generally considered to be the Prelude, a semi-autobiographical poem of his early years that he revised and expanded a number of times. It was posthumously titled and published by his wife in the year of his death, before which it was generally known as the Poem of Coleridge. Wordsworth was a poet laureate from 1843 until his death on 23rd April 1850. Now we find the themes in the poem are: one theme is that is everlasting beauty and sorrow. This is the main theme, beauty and sorrow. The poem presents two things here: the labor of that girl and her expression of sorrow. Secondly, she is working and singing at the same time without being bothered about the surroundings. So, before going to the text, let us have the central idea of this also poem, Solitary Reaper. Wordsworth's Solitary Reaper is a poem about music. The song a Scottish girl sings as she cuts hay with a sickle. Though the poem's narrator cannot understand what the girl is actually singing about, the girl's song sticks with him, its melancholic beauty echoing in his head long after its sound has faded. One major theme of the poem is the power of imagination and its connection with emotion and intuition. Everlasting beauty and sorrow are the major themes of this poem. The poem presents two things: the labor of the girl and her expression of sorrow. She is working and singing at the same time without being bothered about her surroundings. The phrases from the poem are most directly describe the song. A song are a melancholic strain, welcome notes, plaintive numbers, and humble lay. Basically, the poet William Wordsworth's poem, named Solitary Reaper, is about a nameless young woman singing to herself while working in a field. The narrator of the poem describes her as a yon solitary highland lass, and she looks normal, relatively like a common person. The solitary reaper refers to a woman singing in the field. The poet refers to her as a young Highland lass, meaning a young lady of Highlands. She was singing a sad song filled with melancholy. The poet says that not even Nightingale sang better than she sung. The poet never heard such a sweet voice even from the cuckoo bird in the spring season. So basically, the poet William Wordsworth's poem named Solitary Reaper is about a nameless young woman singing to herself while working in the field. The narrator of the poem describes her as a young solitary lass, and she looks normal. The poem was written in the year 1805 and described the delight that poet felt in poetry and song. And it conveys his sense of joy in the deep value added way of the power of memory to sketch a character artistically. The probable themes of the songs sung by the solitary reaper, which is the poet presumes are a tale of some far off happening, or of a natural sorrow, or of a loss, maybe of parting from one dear ones. The poet was very much moved by the song of the reaper because even though he could not understand the language, he could understand well that it was sad song. The poet could hear the song as he carried the music in his heart. He remembered the music even after he could not hear the song anymore. So, this first part of this poem acquaints you with the theme of the poem, the central idea of the poem, and a short introduction of the poet. So, friends, in the next session, we will read out the poem. We'll see the comprehension of the poem by paraphrasing and some important topics analysis also. So, for today, this is sufficient. Thank you. Good day.